Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have for today, Cancerians, is the Omo Olorin. Further, it says, sing. Now, if you look at the picture, there is this beautiful woman, curly hair, and there's a lot of golden rays which is coming through the guitar that she's playing, and she is such a pro at it that she doesn't even need to look at the guitar, right? She's looking in the other direction and still playing the notes beautifully. And also the notes are flying out around. There are doves in the picture, doves all over the picture. Yeah, it's a beautiful energy out here, Cancerians. For some of you, it could be guitar players or learning how to play the guitar or some kind of instrument. For some of you, this could be just singing. You might be taking to singing. Maybe that's your passion. Maybe you're recording albums. Maybe you're recording songs and putting it out there. But this is a happy note, right? It's like a freedom because dove is peace and freedom at the same time. So I feel that, for some of you that are artists, I feel this is a good time for you to produce that music, or you could be singing as part of a team, a group on stage. You could be performing on stage for some of you. But otherwise, the underlying spiritual message is about the throat chakra. It's about you speaking your truth in a gentle way. See, singing the notes, it's all like beautiful, right? It doesn't hurt us. In the same way, spiritually, you also feel that with the throat chakra activated, you need to speak your truth. You need to stop holding back from saying whatever you have been meaning to say. So let your emotions, your thoughts get that voice that you've been looking out for long, but say it in a gentle way. It doesn't need to land harshly. For some of you, I feel that this is a good time for you to be vocal about, things that could be of interest to you or things that could be of concern to you. Like maybe it's in your personal life, maybe it's in your professional life. In your professional life, if you have an idea, maybe earlier you used to hold back from saying it out loud in the meetings, in the boardrooms and things like that. I feel this energy is encouraging you to speak up in front of the audience. You don't have to be silent in meeting rooms and then, send the messages to email and things like that. So be vocal and speak in front of the audience. Don't shy away from it. Now, for others of you, this is also voicing your opinions. It's like voicing your opinions. Maybe there's a poll going on. Maybe there is a feedback. Somebody wants an opinion. So feel free to voice your opinion. For some of you, I feel that this is just a new interest in singing. Maybe you've been holding back from singing. Maybe you were just like singing in your house while cooking, but now you're taking the stage or some kind of portal to get your voice out there. Maybe people appreciate your voice. Maybe you've been singing, in some local parties. And now it's time to put it on the world stage or, on a global stage. So I do feel that there is definitely a shift in the way you communicate, the way you interact with people. Maybe you're speaking more, maybe you're talking more, expressing more, and you're very honest. Maybe you held back. Maybe you were afraid to express your ideas. Maybe you just wanted to, just go with the flow and go with other people's ideas. But now we're strong enough to stand up for your ideas. So there is a boldness out here to communicate your, this can also be about, in your own personal business, like, if you have to, if you have a business, you maybe want to hire people, maybe you want to work as a group, it could be in any hobby, could be any project, could be a business. Then, coming up with those plans, those ideas, the strategies and all of that, in a more gentle way, like you're speaking up, like things, like you're speaking up. You're no longer holding back from expressing your opinion or speaking the truth, but in a gentle way so that it doesn't backfire on you, because a planetary movements right now. Mercury and Leo. Mercury and Leo is the planet of communication. It's there in Leo. It's the fifth house, fixed fire energy, which is about spotlights, attention, and all of that. And Mars is entering almost there in your sign in the next few days. So, so definitely there is going to be a push forward for boldness to express your emotions, whether it's in your personal life or professional life. So expressing your emotions, but making sure that they land gently. The next card you have, Cancerians, is number 20, and it says Garden. This is the number of 8 of spades. So it's a beautiful energy out here. Kids out here, kids and I would say adults, maybe. Yeah, but mostly kids out here. So definitely it's a very, youthful, childlike, young energy which is shown out here. And Cancerians, you are the cardinal sign, green spaces, gardens, of course, being, connected to green spaces, having walks or, just going out there for family outings with kids and all of that, just elevates our mood, health, makes us feel so nice, recharged, rejuvenated. So health benefits is the number one thing when we go out there in the parks. Also, there is very youthful and, look at the kids, they're just climbing on top of trees. It's a very playful kind of energy, right? Just how kids do it. They don't think too much. They don't overthink. They just do whatever comes to their mind. So, and over a period of time, we get conditioned by, oh, don't do this, don't do that. But here, this energy is not that. It's just like, just do whatever comes to your mind. So there is an open energy to this, openness. The only caveat, like I mentioned, Mercury is in Leo. And there is something which is about, when it comes to communication, especially in the sign of Leo, it could be that, things kind of, it's associated with words going around town, so it could be information, could be some kind of a gossip that keeps getting circulated and something like that, especially with the Mercury in Leo energy, is about gossip, words, things, information that do the rounds between people, and we all know when some information goes from one person to the other, it becomes so distorted. By the time it comes back to us, it has a completely different version of it. So be mindful before you let any information out or before you tweak any information that you receive, So that's the only caveat with this Eight of Spades energy. There's also a little bit of, of course, there is a youthfulness, there's a new energy to this. There is like, do whatever comes to your mind, new beginnings. But at the same time, there is also an energy of, information surfacing. So, just like gossip, like I just mentioned, there could be some information that comes to you through the grapevine. It's like through that network, people talk, they need this, give that information to somebody, and then you meet somebody else who's familiar and you pass that information. So you might get to hear something through the grapevine, and just be mindful that you're not the one who's starting that, information, because it might backfire on you. So definitely there is outdoors energy, whether you're in the parks, gardens, it could be farms, forests, you could be spending time there. And of course, it has its health benefits. For some of you, this can be related to gardening, your own house. This could be landscaping in some way, shape, or form. Or it could be just, working with outdoor plants, forests, could be growing produce, farmers market, all of those green things. And professions and engagements will come through with this energy. For some of you, this could be just like, when you go to the park, you build a community out there. So for some of you could be hosting events, in the park or community centers, or even in your backyards where people can come together, talk, have a good time, rekindle the relationships, deepen their relationships and bonds and things like that. So you could be actively working to bring communities and people together, in green spaces. Maybe you're doing it outdoor, maybe you're doing it in your backyard. but a lot of community energy, like bringing people together, talking, sharing a laugh. So it's a more visibility energy rather than a hideaway or behind the scenes energy. That's Amores. This is like connect with people, and you had the same energy right before this. So I do feel that, you're saying things, and also there is a visibility, there is an audience, there is a spotlight on you out here, Cancerians. So, whatever you're doing, whichever profession you are in, or even in your personal life, staying in networks and people and company is highly recommended, especially in the next few days. So don't work in silence or don't work in quiet or all by yourself. Try to work as part of a team, and that's going to really help and elevate you. And the last card you have, Cancerians, is a message from the universe. And it says, don't live the stories of others. Write your own. Further, it says, creativity, adventure, find your genius. So such a beautiful energy. There's a rainbow out here. There's a book out here. An open book, not a closed book. So I do feel, again, it's a similar reiteration of the sing energy, of expressing yourself, whether it's through singing, whether it's through writing, whether it's through talking, on a global stage. I feel that you need to write your own story out here, Cancerians. So, which means that, don't follow other people, or I would say what they do, or don't be a follower, or don't play side roles, like a supporting role. I feel this energy is highly pushing you to, and this is a very creative energy for you, Cancerians, and you being the water sign, you can tap into your emotions in the most uniquest of ways. So I feel this energy is encouraging you to pursue your creativity, make something out of it, write your story, go out there, showcase it. It's going to create something really beautiful for you. Maybe it'll turn into a career. Maybe it will bring you some money. Maybe it will, open new doors, bring in more opportunities, but it's time to write your own story and not hide behind. So the book is already open, It's that, start writing your story. The book has already been opened. It's like, it looks like the first page because, the circles out here, like the index and all of that, and then there is the writing, the first page. So I feel that some of you have already begun a certain career in using your voice, talking, playing, singing, whatever that is. And maybe it was a hobby of yours. Maybe you didn't think about tapping it in or making it a career or a full-time opportunity for you. But I feel that slowly but surely that energy is going to grow on you. You're going to be able to make the most of your vocal talents, of the third chakra, whether it's talking, singing, guiding people, whatever that is. So a new story is being written for you, Cancerians. So great energy out here. Those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Scorpio. So the first card you have, Scorpio, for today is the Urvi. And below it says freedom. So it you see here, this person, the main character, looking towards a disco ball. It looks like a moon to me, which is like, designed as a disco ball. And she has this leaf which she's offering, right? She's offering a leaf to that, to the moon. Now when it comes to disco balls, it's all about letting yourself free, right? Because you dance, you enjoy, you're just going with the flow, you're living in the moment. You don't plan as much the steps, like what you're going to do, what you're going to dance on, how's it going to turn out. You just go with the flow. Now, here I feel is a similar kind of energy. It's like just let it go. Like no plan. We'll just see, take it by the day, see what comes of it, Every day is a new day, and we'll just, take it by the day. For some of you, it's that, like you're releasing control of 1-year plans, 5-year plans, and all of that. You're like, you know what? Let's just not worry about that, and, let's see where life takes us. Now, with the current planetary energies, the movements are very interesting. Mars being in, is Mars since in the house of Cancer. It's getting into the house of Cancer, which is your 9th house of travel. And Mercury is in the adjacent sign to Mars, which is in Leo right now. And for you, that is your 10th house of career, Scorpios. So Mars energy in 9th house is going to, push you towards freedom, because that's what the Sagittarius energy is all about. 9th house energy is archetypally Sagittarius energy ruled by Jupiter, which encourages freedom, looking forward. Travel also. For some, it could be spirituality also. Now, Mercury in your house of career, right, which is your 10th house. I feel that, you definitely have a lot going on at work right now. I feel Scorpio. But in between all of that, I feel the Mars energy is, asking for freedom. Like, maybe you have like a 9 to 5 or whatever this is, like the routine you have. Maybe it's been there for quite some time. And the Mars energy is pushing you to break away from that kind of routine. So, it's going to be a tricky situation because, you might feel like a cage, like, oh, morning to night, it's the same thing. Every day feels the same. I wake up, I do this. Next hour, I do this. Till evening, I do this, and then I do this. It feels like a monotonous kind of a loop that you are in, which, of course, over a period of time feels like, like a cage. And, there's green energy out here. There is Baal, higher chakras energy. So, and this person is, offering the sleeves. It's like in a very dancing, releasing position, right? So maybe you are having some kind of offerings and rituals, to the moon. For some of you could be following some kind of rituals or planning some kind of rituals. But otherwise, this is an energy of breaking free from routines that feel boring. Whether it's just, trying a new hobby, maybe you're dancing, maybe you're trying to, trying your side gig as a dancing or learning dancing or something like that. Or this could be, you want to break free from that routine and try something different. Maybe you want to go out there for travel. Like I said, Mars in your 9th house of Cancer, in the next few days is going to push you towards breaking free from monotony, from routine. So for some of you, you could be, inclined towards changing jobs, changing careers, or, having different routines, or trying different things. Maybe you want to travel for work. Maybe you want to just be a nomad, or you want to be a freelancer or work around, whatever that is. Maybe you're going to try something different in those regards. For others of you, this could also be that you just want to break free, take a break from your regular job, and you want to just travel out there, you want to experience the world. And maybe where you're going, there could be a lot of celebrations, maybe festivals going on that you want to be a part of, or that you will be a part of, some kind of festivals and celebrations. Now, freedom can mean freedom in all aspects. Like for some of you, it could be financial freedom. For some of you, it could be freedom of time and routines, So for some of you, you could be like freedom from mortgage payments. That also could be, as part of this energy. Like you have a big house and you're like, I'm so tired of paying this mortgage for such a big house. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to downsize. To some of you, it could be those shifts as well in your taste of where you want to invest your time and energy into. Maybe smaller homes which are easy to upkeep, or maybe you don't want to buy a home. Maybe you want to just rent out, and things like that. Or maybe you just want to Airbnb and travel for work. It could be different. It's going to be different for each one of you. But you don't want to be sticking. I feel that this is like you don't want to be sticking to one certain type of routine that makes your day boring and monotonous. So whatever this is, whatever you're trying to make a change with, make sure that it's all planned. It's not random. It's not reckless. It's not spontaneous. You don't land in a bad spot. So make sure that you have your plan B ready, or plan B ready to fall back on should the new plan not work. The next card you have for today, Scorpio, is number 5, and it says tree. there is also a 7 of Hearts out here. Now, 7 of Hearts kind of a little bit translates to the 7 of Cups, which is confusion. That I tell you, this energy is so beautiful because it's paired with a tree. If you look at the picture, it's a huge, deep-rooted tree that's been, probably around for like a couple of hundred or thousands of years. Beautiful branches, fully spread out. It's a very green tree, lot of branches, lots of roots. There's a face out here right in the middle, right? Which is like, I feel it represents the guardian energy or the guardian spirit of forest centuries. So definitely the theme around deep-rooted ideas, things, situations, maybe careers, workplace, business, routines, or energy, something that you're thinking about long-term. Maybe it is a seed that you planted has now become this stable, solid structure. Now, the only caveat with the current planetary alignments for you, Scorpio, is the energy to, you got the freedom energy, right, to break free from things. So I feel that, you could misinterpret this energy because there is a 7 of Cups. There's a little bit of confusion around what you need to be doing. And you might be tempted to break away from what you have already created, You feel that, this has been going on for such a long time. I just want freedom. I'm going to break away from this. I'm going to leave my job, career, course, whatever that is, and I'm going to try something new. And that's what you're not supposed to be doing. So don't leave things that have already been built over time, whether it's a career, a business, a home, whatever that is for you, that has been going on for quite this time, that has built into a solid, noticeable, solid foundational structure, which is clearly visible to you that it's been around for quite some time. Don't break away from that because that's going to tempt, that the energies, the planetary movements are going to, test you, tempt you both ways. So here you're supposed to find the freedom, find the routine within that stable structure, which means you need to redo your routine. That's it. You need to reorganize your day in order to feel free, or maybe you need to reorganize your finances within that solid structure so that you feel more financial freedom, or you feel, reorganize your day in a way which makes you feel that you have more time to yourself. So that's, I feel the energy. Now, for some of you, see, look at this solid structure. This is like sticking it out for a long, long time, creating structures, whether it's maybe for some of you, it's forests and trees and backyards and gardening and all of those industries related to forest and, produce and agriculture that you've been doing for quite some time, or maybe your family has been doing. This is deep roots. Deep roots is also connected with your ancestors, your family businesses, estates, and all of that. So for some of you, it could be that you are part of a family business structure that you want to break away from. Or you want to try something new by yourself. But I feel that the energy is to not break away from that solid structure. Instead, find something that you, reorganize your day or the way you do things in a way that makes you feel more free. Now, for some of you, this could be, it reminds me of older properties, old, generational properties. Maybe you've inherited something like that, and you're wondering what to do with that structure because it's so old. You might want to, might be tempted to dispose it off, but I feel this energy of God is encouraging you to rather keep it and, renovate it in the newest technology is possible instead of selling it out. Yeah, that's the underlying current is what I'm picking up on. Established things is what you need to be associated with, whether it's established families, established businesses, established processes or companies or whatever that is, established, deep-rooted, something which is long-lasting, something which you can, feel, keep, touch, enjoy the benefits of those solid, strong foundations, Now, for some of you, this could also be about starting up things, that will create this kind of a structure something which is solid, like on a day-to-day basis, something that you can attend to on a daily basis. Yeah, health also comes to mind. Health and vitality is also something which I'm picking up strongly. You might need some kind of health routines. Look at these trees and bushes and all of that. It's a little bit out of structures also for some of you. You might need to come back into your health routine gym, prune things. Maybe your trees or backyard is just growing like that and it needs a pruning. Do things, have those routines, habits, build those habits which will create a solid routine, solid day-to-day routine, which is a long-term goal, which you can keep doing for a long term on a daily basis. Whether it's like building on your own personality development, health routines, reading routines, or something like that, because health is coming through really strong. For some of you, trees, those industries, forest, agriculture, farming and all of that also comes through very strong. And the last card for today, Scorpio, you have is a message from the universe. And it says, anything you lose comes around in another form. Opportunity, choices, transformation. Yeah, butterfly is definitely transformation. It's a neon butterfly, glowing, full-blown butterfly. Butterfly, we all know how it comes about, draped from a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. So definitely, it's, if you feel like, okay, you can look at the caterpillar is gone, but it's not really lost because the caterpillar became a butterfly. It's that energy out here, like, something which you feel has been lost and gone, it's actually transformed into something really beautiful. You just need to see the link between them. Can you see the link between, those who don't know that a caterpillar becomes a butterfly will never be able to tell that, you will never be able to connect the dots between a caterpillar and a butterfly. It's only that people that know and understand what transformation is, what letting go of older things that are no longer working and transforming them into something really bigger and beautiful. So whatever you're doing right now is becoming more better. It's not a loss. It's a transformation. It's a change for the better. So something is not gone. It's become something new. It might be in the process. Maybe you will see this full-blown butterfly, the full final outcome, the full shape, the full form, the full situation in a few days, in a bit. You might be in between. You might be in between that transition, the change between a caterpillar and a butterfly. You might be in that moment. It's going to be different for each one of you, Scorpios. Like, depending, the timing is not the same for all of you. So you might be in the middle of the transformation or seeing the transformation around you. But that's what is this opportunity all about, That's the opportunity. How do you transform that, And whatever you choose, the direction, the decisions that you make right now is going to be very important into what kind of shape that transformation is going to finally take. So I feel it's a very interesting time here, Scorpio. So those were your messages and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card you have, Pisces, for today is the Ocean. And it says your justice. This is a beautiful energy. There's lots of gold, ornaments. There's a lot of light, celebration, looking up, looking up. I feel that there's a lot of ribbons out here, right? That's just swirling around this, around the goddess, around Ocean. So when it comes to justice, there is something that needs a correction, right? There is some imbalance somewhere. Something has been not fair. Something has been not balanced that needs to be restored back. And because this energy is not a rough energy, it's a very beautiful energy to look at, And it's like, yeah, you want justice, but then you don't want to be really harsh about it. You don't want to be very confrontational about it. You don't want to fight, create drama or heat about it, because this is a very gentle energy, And whenever we speak of justice, we think of, I'm going to just go punch this person in the face and return the favor, or I'm just going to grab this or snatch this, and all of those kind of thoughts come into the mind, right? When it comes to restoration of justice, you're like, I'm going to go full force and all of that. No. That's not what this energy is about. Ocean energy is a water energy also. So if there is softness and you are the mutable water sign, and Pisces can never get that brute and force, definitely not. And that's what this energy fully aligned with the Piscean undercurrent, right? So this is about keeping the peace while also making a point, while also pointing out the imbalances, while also asking for, for things to be restored, to be considered, So it's all being done in a gentle way. There's also a, when it comes to justice, you could be dealing with some kind of law enforcement city, laws or things like that. A very Libra energy also, balancing of scales. So here, Pisces, I feel that, yes, things need to be restored back. And justice needs to be, of course, justice is like, fixing things that have gone down south or imbalanced, but I feel it needs to be done with a more gentle energy. But at the same time, this ocean also has a sword in her hand, which means there needs to be clarity. So how are you going to give that justice? You need to know in your mind exactly how you're going to do it, because there are so many factors that play out when it comes to the justice energy, and it could be in any area, whether it's a justice at work, justice in your personal life, justice in the community, or you're fighting for somebody that's fighting for justice. It could be some unions, trade unions, or people. Maybe you're in the law enforcement, maybe you're in the law, and you're in justice department, and you're actually standing up for people that the underdogs. For some of you, it could be that as well, but others of you, this could be also resolving things, bringing fairness into situations that have not been resolved. So bringing people together, playing the peacemaker, because justice is like a Libra energy scales, and Libra energy always like lifts it on the sides, brings people together, focuses on fairness. No shortcuts out here, so you have to look at the details, and that's what the sword is all about. You need to have the plan on how the justice will be restored. You cannot ignore the pros, cons, the goods, the bads, and everything in between. So if somebody has been wronged, how can you restore that balance? If you have wronged somebody, then how can you restore that balance, and things like that. So a lot of factors you will need to consider, and I feel that, it's going to be different for each one of you, and you're already in that energy of knowing what went wrong and how can it be restored, how can justice be restored. Without, also another caveat with this is without over tipping the scales, without bending backwards, without overdoing, without overgiving. How do you restore that balance? Now, if this is in relationships, maybe you need to talk out, like I've been doing too much, and you need to help out, or you need to pitch in, or you need to return the favor. You need to be kind, like I'm kind to you, and things like that. If that's personal to person relationships. If it's in regards to your office work, then you need to see where the unfairness is. Is it towards you, or are you being unfair? Is it unfair in regards to the work assignment, or promotions, or polls, or teams, or money, or favors from bosses? What is the point of unfairness? And then you'll need to work a plan, which is win-win for everybody. In order to resolve that unresolved situation. So a lot of positive energy, a lot of correction that's going to happen, a lot of balancing of scales that's going to happen. And I feel that, if you stay honest with yourself, if you stay in the right mind, if you stay in the open-hearted and, come from a right head and heart space, I feel that you will be able to resolve those problems, like very gracefully, without any drama, without any tension, without any heat, in a way that people, are happy with the outcome. They trust you for your abilities to, to find the right resolution in the right ways. So it's a good time for correction. The next card you have, Pisces, is number 29, and further it says Lady, Ace of Spades. So it's a beautiful energy for you, Pisces. Lady, it's a feminine energy. the dress, the costume of this person looks like from the medieval times, but it's a lot of richness in this, a lot of elegance and opulence. And this person, the one hand is up, it's like she's in communication, she's saying something, she's using her voice. But there is a lot of finesse to this. There's a lot of elegance. It's like that authority energy, not in a negative way, in a gender way, because it's a feminine, green energy out here. Also, it's Aces, which is beginning. I feel that, especially in the step when it comes to leading, it's like, boy, it definitely represents the person that we're talking about. So for the most part, I feel that this lady is you here, Pisces. Now, you don't have to be a feminine person to be represented by this lady. It's like, a masculine that has a good intuition, who can receive messages, who is an attractor of opportunities, who doesn't use brute force, all of those things. So a masculine or a feminine, both can represent this lady energy. It's like an authority which is cool, calm, collected. There is a gentleness about this authority as well. Now, some of you are actually focused on your dresses, your styles, what you wear. You could be invited to some events that you're planning, how to dress yourself, the fashion and all of that for some of you. But, the queen energy or the lady, it's like you, I feel that this is like you stepping up here, Pisces. It's like maybe you are stepping up and standing out, maybe you've upskilled yourself. Maybe you've done some personal personality development courses, or something you have done, or you have transformed yourself or your image or whoever you are. I feel that maybe earlier you used to do things depending on other people's tastes, like what they want, what they feel is right, and things like that. You used to measure yourself from other people's eyes or opinions. Now I feel that there is a shift in your energy where you're confident in who you are. It's like you meeting yourself. It's like there is a confidence, emerging from within. And for the Piscean energy, you're overgivers. You bend over backwards. You blend in a lot, you don't like to stand out. You don't like the spotlight on you. But I feel that here you're owning that space. You're done with blending in. You're done with being in the background. You're done with, working according to people's opinions and their tastes and their choices and their projections and their ideas of what you should look like and be. I feel you're moving away from that energy. You're like, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I like it. This is my style. This is how I feel from within. And this is how I'm going to dress up. This is how I'm going to talk. This is how I'm going to present myself, like it or not. Here I come. So it's an arrival energy. It's like after, this is a growth spurt for you. Maybe you've been just being in the background, and now you're ready to, you're like tired of all of that, you probably just, kind of dimmed your light for other people's, and now you're like, I am not afraid of taking up space. So I feel that's the energy, the confidence, something has shifted inside of you. You're stepping up, maybe you're becoming a leader, but a gentle leader, of course. And you're like owning your style. You're like, this is my style. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be dressing up like other people. For some of you, there is a shift in the way you dress up as well. For some of you, maybe you are fashion designers that is, changing up styles and things like that, you're not following the masses and trends. You're kind of creating styles that suit personalities, like individual personalities, tailored for the person and their individual styles. But it's a good energy, it's like you feeling like yourself again. You're not feeling oppressed. You're not feeling sidelined, you're like, maybe you're becoming leaders, queen bees, it's like leadership positions. Maybe this is like, in the society structure, maybe you're moving up, because it reminds me of ladies, like first lady kind of, energy, like maybe you're endowment and you're stepping up into those higher leadership positions, maybe in business where you feel like, you are the kind of like the first lady kind of energy. I'm not saying you have become that, but it's just like of your city, of your town. You feel like, in your circles, like you have arrived. You're someone who has achieved that status in society. So, yeah, it's a good energy out here, where, sometimes people undergo this transformation when they've been oppressed. It's like every time somebody comes, speaks to them, talks to them, make decision for them. Maybe you were that kind of a person, who allowed people to decide for you, speak for you, stand up and present for you and all of that. And you've been doing the background work. And now you're like, I'm tired of staying in the background, of having me being represented by other people. Now I need the spotlight on me. I want to be able to speak my heart out, speak my mind, let people know who I am. Let people understand who my personality is, who I am actually, So you're presenting yourself. You're not being presented, nobody's presenting for you. You're standing up, you're there, you're out there, you're attending meetings, you're speaking, and things like that. So this is a rise, this is visibility increase. This is it's something that you did, personality development that allows you to stand up, stand out, speak for yourself, take decisions for yourself. Maybe you up skills, maybe even to college, you got degrees and things like that. And you had the fairness, the justice card right before that. And I feel that's the justice, that you are now becoming your own authority. Maybe people were deciding for you, and you were just following. And I feel like, what, enough of that. I'm going to be my own person. And this is how you restore balance in your life, It could be for some of you. And the last card for J Pisces you have is a message from the universe. And it says, to love without expectations is to be in heaven. Release control, make peace with loved ones. So it's such a beautiful energy, pinwheels, right? They're free to spin, I mean, all what they need, they just need some air, some wind. And, and just being like loose, right? Just space, like nobody should hold up in where only then it'll spin. So it's that same thing, that same synonymous to control. Like you cannot hold people back, and you cannot be held back. So give that space to yourself, to people around you, I feel that when you are stepping up, you're being your own person, you're unique and so are other people. So, the people we love, we kind of try to shape them, like don't do this, don't do that, and things like that, I feel that kind of holds people back, it cages them, that makes it suffocating. They cannot be themselves. So I feel that when you release that control, or maybe you have broken out of that control, it's like, and then it becomes a beautiful energy which is free-flowing. People are free to do what they want, free to express themselves, free to be themselves, free to explore their areas, domains, study whatever they want, be with whoever they want, talk to whoever they want, eat whatever they want, watch whatever they want, do whatever they want, instead of feeling controlled and caged. So it's a nice energy around being fair and square, releasing control. And that's the true form of love, right? I mean, we cannot be controlling in terms of, oh, I love you so much, so you have to follow my rules. Like, it's not like that how it works. That's our true love. And that's what this energy is emphasizing, Mike. If you really love the people, just let them be. Okay? So, read energy out your Pisces. Those were your messages, and move the resonated with you. So, thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.